Welcome everyone to this edition of Looking at Louisville. I'm Chaz.
Hello, I'm Stacy.
And we are here at the Louisville Beer Store in Nulu on Market Street in downtown Louisville. What? Beer? It's not, wait a minute, beer? I thought we'd be talking about bourbon. What's up with beer in Louisville?
Well, that's right, Chaz. We are in the gateway to Bourbon Country, but today we're going to cover Louisville's growing beer scene, from craft distillers to retail locations like this. Just a couple of spots all around town where you can get a really good cup of the good stuff.
And you know, one of the top places to have a glass of beer worldwide, it's a top 10, and it's in Louisville, right?
That's right. We're going to tell you about that and more. You ready to get going?
Let's get started.
Let's go.
Bier her, oder ich fall soll das Bier im Keller liegen und ich hier die Ohnmacht kriegen. Bier her, oder ich fall Bier her, oder ich fall ja okay. Bier her, oder ich fall Bier her, oder ich
The great thing about coming to the Boom Boss Tap House is it has an ice bar, so it keeps your beer nice and cold. And
Ohnmacht kriegen. Bier her, oder ich fall
I said, go in the hole! Go in the hole! Well, we just left the Frankfort Avenue Beer Depot and we had to come to the BBC here in St. Matthews for some lunch. Now we're going to be hitting two locations for lunch and a dinner, so let's talk quickly about what we had.
That's right. Well, Mark had the hot brown. I had the sausage fest because I'm loading up today for all the beer. And you had?
I had the black bean burrito.
We also had a goat cheese and ricotta appetizer that was delicious, and kind of one of their signatures, a hot pretzel with beer cheese.
So what kind of beer did you get?
I think a bourbon barrel stout.
And I'm having the American Pale Ale. Now, the master brewer is in there, so I think we need to go back in there and talk to him.
Let's go.
How much beer do you all produce out of the facility, and what are you doing right now?
Well, we produce about 2,000 barrels a year. That's 4,000 kegs worth. What I'm doing right now is we're pulling mash out of our mash tun. Basically, we took barley malt, mixed it with water. We're converting starches into fermentable sugars, and we take the liquid part off of that. That's what creates our beer later on.
Rich, dark, it's a winner. Sergio, this is a lot more than your typical bar and restaurant that I've ever seen. This is like a beer museum. Tell us about that concept, how many beers you have, how this all got started.
Well, we started 18 months ago here, and we built it up to about 1,300 different beers, about 300 Belgian beers. Well, if you don't need our assistance to pick a beer, and you have a beer in mind and you find it, bring it back to the bar area, and we'll pour it in the proper glassware. From there on, you're on your own, and anytime you need more information, we're here to help you.
Well, I don't know about you, Stacy, but I'm pretty tapped out for today.
Well, Chaz, we did do a lot of hopping around, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, but you know what? We learned a lot about beer in Louisville and the history that I don't think a lot of people know.
Louisville produced more beer than any other southern state when beer was in its heyday here in Louisville back in the mid-19th to early 20th century. Familiar brands to some people, like Bertles 92,
Fall City,
which has made a comeback, and Fairs. And I just think that's a wonderful heritage to complement the bourbon industry that we have have. And, a lot of that was, of course, set back by Prohibition.
Right, and the great thing about this is like, we took the Urban Bourbon Trail, and literally today I feel like I was doing that with beer and Louisville.
We really could have a beer tour as well. I thought about that too. And the neat thing is that some of the neighborhoods that we were in once held, like Germantown, Phoenix Hill, the New Lou area, that's where these big, huge beer distilleries once were.
Well, let's talk about where we are right now.
Sure, we are at Cumberland Brews on Restaurant Row and Bardstown Road, and they're in the Highlands, and they're one of those small craft breweries that are just really making a resurgence in America, and just the home of some really fine beers on tap.
Now, what did you have to eat today? Let's talk about the appetizer.
Oh, sure. It's actually my favorite hummus in town. We had the roasted red pepper hummus with pita triangles, and we also had the quesadilla of the day, which ours had black beans and mozzarella tonight.
And then I had, for dinner, I had the grilled pepper chicken with steamed vegetables, and what did you have?
I had the bison burger with blue cheese crumbles and their thick cut steak fries.
The other thing was cool that we came here and got your beer, but we also got a beer flight here.
We did.
Many of the places have those as well.
Right. They had them at Tony Boomba's, which you could line up on that ice bar, I guess, to keep all those little glasses cold. Chaz, we really just scratched the surface on our tour of Louisville area bars and restaurants that are really focusing on craft beers right now.
There's a lot of places. Where's some other places?
The Holy Grail, which is relatively new, that we're going to check out in a future podcast. Eiderdown, we're going to cover that in a Germantown episode this summer. The Knock Bar, Z-Bar, Zanzibar. And then right across the river, the New Albanian Brewery with 2 locations. And then, of course, Browning's right downtown.
So for more information about this episode or some of the great brewing houses and the place to get beer in Louisville, please visit gotolouisville.com or send us an email, podcast@golouisville.com. Of course, you can always find us on Facebook and in Twitter. So as always,
We're looking at Louisville.
see you real soon. So as always, I get through all that. Okay, you ready? So once you start there, you're on 3, 2, 1.